Okay, I think we're all set and we have started for today. I'm going to take you through what GradeCam can do for you in your classroom and how it can help you take away some of the time, I guess, that it takes sometimes to go through our lessons or our testing portion of it, so we've got more time for our lessons. A few tips about the program itself. You need to get it working to start with, so if it's not working on the computer that you're sitting at, try another desktop in the schoolhouse, try it at home first. So getting it connected will make it work on any station that has the software installed. So once you get it working, connect it up and get it installed, go through the prompts. The installation is very, very easy. It literally walks you through step by step to be able to utilize it on any station, anywhere, home, work, wherever, as long as the desktop itself isn't locked. A couple of key things when it comes to the software and utilizing some of the paperwork part of it that I'm going to talk about later on. The black box within each of the testing documents can only have the bubble in part, and I'm going to show you the document so you can better understand that part of it. Students can use pen or pencil or marker, it doesn't matter, just filling in the bubble. So it's not that specific, which makes it nice. So it's a little different than your traditional bubble scan type of test that can be time consuming, and you can also be concerned that the wrong answers will be scored, and you can't use colored paper to give it to them. Some general guidelines to be thinking about. I'm going to walk you through step by step this particular software. We're going to talk about student rosters, we're going to talk about creating the bubble sheets, and we're going to talk about creating an exam, and we're going to talk about how we get that exam so it is graded and you can put it in your grade book, whether it be an electronic version or a printed version of your grade book. So we're going to set up your class lists. We're going to create a test. We're going to create an answer key. We're going to create and print the student bubble sheets. We're going to give that test. We're going to grade the test as a group, and then as a part of that, I'm going to show you how to scan the student documents and what's important about the paper angle of it so that it scans so the camera can see it, and then we're going to generate a report. What's also important to know about GradeCam, you don't have to have a special camera to do that. You can use a scanner attached to your computer. You can use the onboard webcam of your camera. You don't have to have some fancy outboard. Just get the image so it's readable. So you just need to see the image in the computer. So now I'm going to take you to the GradeCam software itself. You got to log in. The tech department will give you your login information. So this is mine. I've cleared out some of the things in mine, so it is cleaned up for today. So you just use your unique login name and password given to you by the tech department. This is our home page, and if for some reason it redirects you somewhere else, you just click the home tab and it always brings you to the same place. We're going to start with our rosters. Mine are already going to be loaded. I didn't want to go through and delete them all for this exercise, but I will show you how you can load them for yourself. The tech department will load these three things. These are what the school board called my class, and this is how, when my students get their grade cards, this is the name found on their grade card, and this is also my unique eSchool name that is linked to this program. And remember, our eSchool is how we take our attendance, and that's how we take our grades. So GradeCam works in collaboration with that program. Select any of these. For today, we're going to use Broadcast Media 1. I can edit that class, I can add a class, but for right now, we're going to leave it as is. If I clicked on that and didn't see any of my student names down here, I would import my students and it would pull those in for me. You can also manipulate each of the students themselves. You can unenroll a kid if they've dropped out. You can add a student if you have somebody new that was added in and maybe they're not on your roster yet, or you don't want to reload the whole thing. You can do that. Or you can edit some of the student information. Maybe they go by a different first name. Maybe you want to give them a different GradeCam ID rather than their student ID. I'm going to keep it simple. Their student ID is their GradeCam ID for me. We are going to take a look at forms next. So we've got the students in there. We've got their information in there. Now we want to be able to generate a form that corresponds with that. So I'm going to choose exam. This ID digit matches up with the GradeCam number. So remember I said I'm leaving my students as their student ID. So the GradeCam ID number is going to be that same amount, which in my case, I have 7 digits that we assign to my students for their ID. You can choose how many questions. I suggest the maximum questions you ask in a school year. Go ahead and generate it this time around, and you can photocopy these then. Rather than regenerating this every single time, you can create this list one time, and the students' names are going to appear and their ID number is going to fill in here, which allows GradeCam to know who we're talking about. You can print blank forms if you choose. For this particular exercise, we are going to do Broadcast Media 1. And I'll just show you real quick what that looks like when it's generating. And it will generate each of your students, and they'll have their own unique bubble sheet. You can see their ID here. You can see their student name here, and it will print individual sheets. Save us some time. I've already done that. So now we've already generated our bubble sheets. We know our roster is there. We've got our bubble sheets. Moving on to creating the actual assignment itself, which is very short and very easy. New exam. For today, we're going to go with a short number of questions, and you can see right here my hand. That is our GradeCam camera that we have, and you can see that in real time. That is my hand that you know that it is working, and it will scan something in its place. 5 questions. We're going to call this Broadcast Media 1. We'll call it Chapter 1. If I can spell 1. Review. And now we just select how many, or for each we choose the correct answer based on what our key would be. Normally we'd fill in a bubble sheet key, and there we go. 2 functions on this. You can scan it as the teacher, or you can choose the student version. So we go to scanning the exams. And this way, your students can walk up and scan all of their exams without needing your help. So one at a time, the students would come up, and Jernandez being the first one, and his will take just a second. Jernandez would walk away with his test. He knows what he has. And then next, Tamicia would come up. Tamicia would have hers. We would have... and each of your students each time. So for this purpose, we'll scan in 3 or 4 just so you can see. So I've got 4 of my students. All 4 are there. So if you scroll across the top here, they've got the hidden menus. So we're going to go to resume last, and we will hit escape. And it will take us right back to where we need to be. And you don't need to tell the students that part of it. You just tell them that once they're finished, they can walk away. And then now you've got the information for these students. So you can tell down here in this window, we've got some scores. So after we've done all that, you think, well, that's great that I've got these scores here. Now what do I do with it? Which is an excellent question. We will go up to the reports menu, and we are going to want to click on class reports. We want the whole class report. So I want to know what the assignment summary was. I want to know how did my students do, and I want to transfer that to my grade book. What assignment is it? And this was the Broadcast Media 1 chapter review, and my class is Broadcast Media 1. And the program will generate how much the average score was, the scans, and I could print that if I want to. So another piece of this that's really helpful is the student scores. So this is where their individual scores will pop up. So I generated a report that told me the class average, and now I have their individual scores. So I can transfer this right into my grade book. So I didn't have to sit there with my bubble in sheet and check off each one that they did correctly or incorrectly. This software, they can walk up, the student can do it themselves, scan it, and you are finished once you print this report. And this is all the information that the students don't necessarily need to see. They just want to know what they got on it. And it's instant feedback, instant report for them to know how many they got right. And then it allows me to transfer it and then reteach if I need to, or offer another opportunity for those students to retake the test if you so choose. So in a nutshell, that is what GradeCam can do for you. It's a very, very, very brief overview, and Hopefully it was enough information for you to at least get you started. Thanks so much.